Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I am always on the hunt for great cards. Today is a weekend episode, which I don't usually do, but I did not get a chance to do. Dorking with dice yesterday. On Friday was just too busy here, and so I wanted to make sure I did not skip out this week on the Dorking. So we're going to do it today on Saturday. Little weekend edition of Dorking with dice. We've got the magic box full of vintage packs of hockey and football cards and a big pink D20 to tell us which of these 20 packs we get to open. Of course, some extra special packs are in the 1, 10, and 20 position, and I will show you what those are. In the number 1 position, we got 1989 Topps Football. Why is this pack special in some way? It's because you can get a Bo Jackson rookie out of here, and you get that thing graded up, and it is a rather valuable card. If you can get that in a PSA 10, that's quite pricey. In the number 10 spot, we got 95-96 Pinnacle Hockey Zenith Edition. If I can get the light to reflect off of that the right way, there you go. Very high-end product that came out back then. And some inserts out of here. Very, very nice cards if we can get into that. I've opened Zenith Baseball before. You've seen me do that on the channel if you're a long-time watcher. I opened that maybe a year and a half ago. I opened a lot of baseball, and beautiful product, and I was delighted to find I had a hockey pack of Zenith. And then back here in the number 20 spot, we've got 1981 Topps Hockey. So very early Gretzky cards in here, possibility of that, as well as lots and lots of Hall of Famers in there. Very nice pack. See if we get any of those, and there are a lot of other good packs in here scattered throughout the magic box. So let's see what our first pack is going to be on a weekend edition Dorking with Dice. Pack 18 is what we shall start with. All right, there's 1918 is hockey. It is 1992 Score Hockey, which you get U.S. edition here. They did do a multilingual edition. You get 16 cards in here, and there are inserts and all kinds of other stuff that you can get out of 1992 Score. And these are pretty nice cards. They kind of remind me more of Pinnacle cards than Score cards, but Score owned Pinnacle, so I think this was the point at which Score started trying to, I don't know, make their regular Score cards better. I don't know. Martin Lapointe starts things off here for Detroit. I'll show you the back of these because it's a different photo on the back than the front. Appears as though that is a Martin Lapointe rookie card. Look at that. Did not know that. We got Mike Louis there for the Caps. Good goalie for several years in the NHL. Patrick Roy. Speaking of really good goalies, Patrick Roy. That's pretty awesome. Nice franchise card of that Hall of Famer. Really nice card of him. I don't know if I have that card. That is a Wolf Lair card for sure. Tim Hunter there. And František Musil, who is not related to Stan Musial. This is Musil, and he looks skeptical about his own hockey skill there. He does not look like he has a lot of confidence about stepping onto the ice. Looks like he maybe just stepped out of the box there. I don't know, but František, I think, needs a little more confidence. We got Vyacheslav Fedosov, the rhyming player for the Devils, and Dean Evison and Mike Keane taking the ice. Chris King and Thomas Sandstrom, very good player there with the Kings, played for several different teams and was in the NHL for quite a long time. Stéphane Lebeau skating for the Canadiens. Tony Granato there, and Alexander Mogilny. That's a nice card there of Mogilny playing for Buffalo. I think that is, no, is it a rookie? It is not a rookie. Boy, that's pretty close to being a rookie, but it is not. 1992. I guess that's not a rookie. I guess this is 91. Who is this for the Rangers? I think, is that Messier? I think that might be, it is indeed Mark Messier. That is who we got there for the Rangers. Another Hall of Famer. Nice one, and kind of an intense look from Mark Messier there. And I think the blue lighting does not help either. He looks kind of like a DC Comics supervillain or something. It's like Mark Sinestro Messier there. Pretty interesting card. I'll put that in the Wolf Lair. Why not? Mick Vucata. And we finish off with J.F. Quinton from the Sharks. And that is an NHL prospect card, which is why it looks a little different than the other ones. J.F. Quinton for the Sharks. I'm going to move that Messier card to the top there so it will look, I don't know, especially scary as we put it over here by Mick Jagers. statue. See what our next pack is going to be. We have pack 18. Number 2 pack is going to be pack 7. Lucky number 7. We'll see if we can avoid getting numbers that are in a row. We've gotten a lot of consecutive numbers lately on Dorking with Dice. Maybe this week we will not get one. That would be nice. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is Pro Set Football. We got 1990 NFL Pro Set Football there. Very ubiquitous pack back in the day. I feel like you could find these everywhere, and they cropped up at conventions and whatnot. After that, you could get boxes for very, very cheap. And this is still a product that I feel like is somewhat readily available, but nonetheless, a lot of good names in here, a lot of Hall of Famers and good cards. Fun stuff to open. We got Instant Win that you can play, and we start off with a cool Super Bowl card here, Super Bowl III in Miami between the Jets and the Colts. And I'll confess something, I think I actually have a copy of this program. I believe I have a copy of that program. I'm not quite sure how it fell into my possession, but if I go through my, I don't really collect programs, but I do have a bunch, and I'm not really sure how that came into my possession, but I believe I do have a copy of that. There's Bud Carson calling for the timeout with the headphones on there. What do you think he's listening to? Bud Carson, coach of the Browns. I'm trying to think of a really good Cleveland band that he might be listening to, but I cannot think of any Cleveland bands. Maybe one of you can tell me. What do we have here? We got Jim Lachey there, and get this in focus for you. A good member of the offensive line for the Washington football team for quite a while. Pro Bowl card from Aloha Stadium in Hawaii. That is a card I have never seen, I have to admit. I've never seen that card. Very interesting choice there to make that a card. Mike Coffer there from the 49ers, good kicker for them. Hartley Dykes, and behind him we've got another kicker, Norm Johnson. Then we got Jeff Lageman, or was it Lagaman? I can't remember. Lagaman? I think it might have been Lagaman for the Jets. Eric Thomas, and Chuck Noll, really good longtime coach for the Steelers. Chuck Noll, he might be in the Hall of Fame as a coach, actually. I'll have to check that out. John Elliott, Big John Elliott, really good tackle for the Giants. I don't know why my camera is acting this way. It is not behaving the way that it should. I apologize for that. See if pointing it downwards will cause these cards to come into focus a little more easily. I'm perplexed as to what's happening. It hasn't been doing that for a while. We got Anthony Thompson there and Dwayne Bickett for the Colts. Gilbert, and we finish off with Ken Harvey for the Cardinals. So I'll leave Big John Elliott on top there. So we got one hockey, one football thus far. What will our third pack be on today's episode? A weekend edition of Dorking with Dice. We almost had the 10. Man, that was close. I was hoping for one of the big numbers today. Maybe we will still get one, but for right now we've got 16. I know this big, thick black pack is 17, so that means this is 16. It is Score 1991. We got 2 Score hockey. We got 92 and now Score 1991. This is the U.S. version as well, which you can tell because it has the U.S. flag. The multilingual version has both flags on it. And Score 1991 is much more of the traditional appearing Score set that you would imagine. It's very colorful. It has that template that Score had for several years back then. Will not disappoint if you're a fan of Score cards from that era. Joe Nieuwendyk there, or Nieuwendyk, depending upon who you talk to. People have tried to convince me it's one or the other over the years, but I've got no firm agreement on that. So there you have it. We got Jeremy Roenick. That's a nice one, too. Wow, 2 nice names starting things off here. Jeremy Roenick. Show you the backs of these because these also have a different back to them. Jeremy Roenick looking really in distress there. Looks really sad there, like some terrible fate has befallen the Blackhawks. That looks really sad for him. We got McGillney there. There we go. Another McGillney card we've gotten 2. Now, this should be the rookie, I believe. It also does not look like the rookie. I don't know what's going on there. Well, I'm going to have to look that up. We got 2 McGillney cards out of 2 hockey packs, so really I cannot complain about that. That's pretty good. Sean Burke and Lindros, and that is a first-round draft choice. That is certainly a rookie card, and that is a sweet pull there for sure. Eric Lindros, nice pull there. Happy to get that. Season leader Gretzky. Wow, how about that? Back-to-back. We get a Lindros rookie and a Gretzky card. Cannot do much better than that out of these packs, I'll tell you that for sure. That is a couple of sweet pulls right there. This is a stellar pack. And we got Al McGinnis there on the franchise card with some amazing hair. I mean, that is, he looks like he's in the band Rush or something with that haircut. That is awesome. Dmitry Krishtech and Brian Benning, a longtime NHLer there. Gary Roberts, who has no idea where the puck is. The puck's over here, Gary. Look, it's very clearly right there, and Gary's just skating away from it. He doesn't care. It doesn't matter to him where the puck is. Ray Shepard and Mark Osborne skating for the Jets. Sean Burr and Phil Bork. There we go. Nice card of that player. And Rob Brindamore. Wow, two nice cards to finish this one off. Phil Bork and Rob Brindamore. I'll put Brindamore on top. Why not do that? Gretzky and Lindros back-to-back in that pack. You cannot do better than that. I'm telling you, that was about as good as it gets for Score 1991. I mean, you really can't do much better than those pulls. That was pretty awesome. Let's see what our fourth pack is going to be. Will it even things up and be another football pack? We have 10 of each in the box, and there we go with the consecutive numbers again. I swear that never used to happen on this program. I've done Dorking with Dice for years and years now, and up until the last 6 months, I don't remember us getting those kind of consecutive numbers before, but for some reason, we are getting them a lot now. It's very strange. So we just opened 16. Here's 15, and it is indeed a football card. Stadium Club football, in fact. This is 1993 Stadium Club 14 super premium picture cards. Not just regular picture cards, no, but super premium picture cards. That's where we're getting out of here. Also look for, I think this was maybe the first year. I think it was. 1993 was the first year that you could find first day of production cards in these packs. And I don't know that those cards have really, back in the day when these were coming out, people would be like looking and paying big money for those. Those first day edition cards would be really sought after, and I feel like they have not held their cachet or their value. But I don't know. That's just me. Maybe you guys are more jacked into that. Carwell Gardner, who looks delighted to be playing football. That's what you should look like on a sports card, in my opinion. Carwell Gardner is what you should look like. Chris Gardocki, oh yeah, good kicker there for the Chicago Bears football team. Chris Gardocki, forgot about him. Of course, it would not be Dorking with Dice if we did not get a useless checklist card, and there is our useless checklist card. So what do we have here? Sideways card of Greg Montgomery, another kicker. We got too many kickers out of our packs today is how I feel about that. Steve Jordan takes the three-point stance for Minnesota, and behind him we got, what is this? Kenny Davidson. What is he doing on the sideline there? I'm not sure what's going on with that. That's a weird sideline photo of Kenny Davidson. He doesn't really have his helmet on correctly, and I don't know what's happening there. It's a weird photo. And what do we got here? Brett Favre in his all-pro gear. That's kind of neat to see. And that is a Member's Choice card. That is a nice pull there. It's all right. Brett Favre, not one of my favorite players by any means, but still a nice pull. And on the Member's Choice card, nonetheless, that's when I kind of have to wolf layer, despite my feelings about Brett Favre. Brian Hansen there, another kicker, as you can see. And Derek Russell, who's about to catch something there for the Broncos. We have here a propaganda card. Is an info card with info that is long out of date. Kerry Cash for the Colts, very alliterative card there. And Reggie White, that's a nice pull. Very nice to see that one. Reggie White, one of the all-time great defensive men in the league. These do not show the rookie cards on the back. Oh yeah, I guess they do. There's the rookie card right there. Always liked that about Stadium Club, that they would show the rookie cards. These days, Stadium Club does not do that, and I wish that they still did. David Little for the Steelers and Robert Massey there. I think there's one more card behind Robert, and it is the Fridge, William Perry. Very nice to see that one if you are a Bears fan. That's a pretty sweet-looking card there of William Perry. Very nice to get that one. I'll leave that one on top. All right, I'm going to roll one more pack to break the tie. We got 2 football. We got 2 hockey. What are we going to get more of? We've rolled 16, 15, 18, and I think 7, if I'm remembering right, so we don't want to re-roll those. What's it going to be? Roll this around a lot. Oh, I thought we had 20. That was very close. Thought we had 20 instead. We get pack 2. Is it going to be football or is it going to be hockey? What will it be? Let's find out. Pack number 2 is indeed hockey. It is LNH NHL 1990-91. That means this is multilingual hockey for those of you in the Canada lands up there in Narnia. This one's for you. It is La Franche edition. There you can go, edition Francais, right there, 12 cards. And this is the high series. So you get all the cards in the low series plus new cards from the high series. So pretty much any player that you would hope to get from 1990-91 is possible out of this Upper Deck pack of multilingual cards. And this is not really the baked potato kind of foil that you would normally see. This kind of a papery foil, and I think the U.S. edition of this used the classic Upper Deck baked potato foil, but this is the Canadian one, so it's a little classier. That's how I would describe it. Scott Stevens here, and as you can see, if I can get this to focus properly, which it does not want to do today. My camera does not like these for some reason. Anyway, it does not say defense, it says Défenseur. Yes, he is a défenseur, Scott Stephens from Les Blues, or Les Bleus. I don't know what the plural of blues is. I don't think there is a plural of blues in French. It would just be Les Bleus, maybe with an X on the end. I'm not sure. You guys who know the French language far better than I do. I minored in it in undergrad, but that was back in the 1800s and was spoken much differently. Yes, there we go, Scott Stevens. All right, what do we have here? Owen Nolan looking. Hey, ladies, it's Owen Nolan. He was just drafted by the Nordiques. How about that? Yep, Nordiques' #1 draft, playing allié droit. Yes, that's Owen Nolan there. Very nice. Rookie card of that player. Mike Gartner, who I believe is in the Hall of Fame, I believe. Anyway, longtime NHLer, New York Rangers player there, but played for the Caps and I think a couple other teams. What is happening here? This is somebody's high school photo of them playing hockey. No, it is, who is this? It does not say who this is, but it is two, oh, there it is. It is Fedorov and Garpenilov for Detroit. So that's kind of a cool card. Any Fedorov card is not so bad. Very interesting to see that. Do I have all this? Yeah, they're just all upside down and wonky and weird. So let's see if I can turn a couple of these over. We got two goaltenders here in a row. It's Vincent Rindeau and Peter Ing from the Leafs, and then Mark Hardy there. It looks like he's straightening a player's jaw. Mark Hardy, another défenseur. Yes, what is he doing to that player? It really does look like he's like adjusting his dental work or something in that photo. I don't really know what's happening there. Maybe you guys can tell me what he might be doing. Mark Hardy, part-time ranger and part-time dentist is perhaps what's happening there. Ooh, that's a sweet card here. Red Kelly, Heroes of the NHL. Red Kelly card there. That is pretty darn cool to see. That is awesome. I'm wolf-laring that one. Why not? And then all of these are backwards. I'm just going to flip this whole thing over. It's Jeff Brown for the Blues, another defensive. Boy, we're getting a lot of those. And there's Sean Burke. And we got another goalie here. A lot of goalies and defensive men. Ron Tugnut there, pretty good player. And Anatoly Semenov, who is making a very weird face. Is he sticking out his tongue or shouting? Or I don't know what he's doing there. But Anatoly... I don't know what you're doing there, buddy. It's a weird picture. So hockey wins today. We got 3 hockey packs and 2 football packs. And plus we got a French pack of hockey. So I feel like that. What is with the focus on this camera today? It's like it's partly asleep, which is the way I felt yesterday, which is why I didn't make an episode. Did not get much sleep the previous night, and I was just kind of out of it all day yesterday and really busy. So hope that this weekend Dorking with Dice satisfies and makes up for my lack of episode on Friday. I hope you guys are having a great weekend and that you're getting to do whatever you want and enjoying yourself. I'll be back on Monday, and I do have some mail to open. A big package from one of you awesome people mailed in a really pretty heavy package of what I assume is trading cards, though it could be ham. I don't know. Anything could be in there, really. We're going to find out together on Monday what exactly is in there, though if it is ham, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I probably won't partake of ham that has been through the mail. I'm just not into that idea. It could be turkey. It is Thanksgiving here in America next week, so it could be turkey. And I'm all about that. As you guys know, if you watch the channel a long time, I do make Thanksgiving for my family and extended family every year, and I'm doing that again this year. It's going to be awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. We always have the whole crew over here for that. So I got another holiday product to open up on Thanksgiving that I was surprised to see and did not know about. I've not seen anybody open it yet, so that'll be on Thanksgiving. You can look forward to that next week. In the meantime, I'll see you here on Monday for a mail day, and as always, happy collecting.